speak what you want to see. Good afternoon. Begin to speak what you want to see. Our tongue has power. Our tongue has life. Our tongue has death. So we want to use that to our advantage and speak those things that we want to see. Speak those things that are not as though they were. We're going to go over to Proverbs 18 and 21. The tongue can bring death or life. Those who love to talk will reap the consequences. Our tongue can bring death or life. Those who love to talk will reap the consequences. Over in Romans 4 and 17, Abraham believed in God who brings the dead back to life and who creates new things out of nothing. He formed this world out of nothing, all by voice. So our tongue has power, and we have the authority that God has given us as Christians to speak those things that be not as though they were. So we're going to head over to Genesis, where God actually creates the heavens and the earth. Verse 3, Genesis 1, verse 3, then God said, let there be light, and there was light. And God saw that the light was good. Then he separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day and the darkness night. He spoke it and it happened. God spoke it and there was light. We have that same power as being believers, as being sons and daughters of Jesus Christ. We can speak those things. We can speak what we want to see. Do you believe that? You can speak what you want to see. Another example, Genesis 1 and 6. Then God said, let there be a space between the waters to separate the waters of the heavens from the earth. The waters of the heavens from waters of the earth. And that is what happened. God made this space to separate the waters of the earth from the waters of the heaven. God called this space sky. And evening passed and morning came, marking the second day. The key words we want to pay attention in God creating the heavens and the earth. Then God said, or you may hear, then God made, then God created. So not only do we have to speak the thing, but we have to begin to work it. We have to be proactive and begin to work on what we want to see. That's no different than you saying, I want a home. Okay. You speak it out there, whatever your name is. Jack wants a home. Okay. In order for Jack to get that home, he knows he wants the home. He has to go ahead and work on his credit. He has to see where he wants to live. And then when he do get the house, what type of furniture does he want to put in the house? So not only do we have to speak it, but we also have to work to attain it. It said God said and God made. God said and God created. So there is work to do behind it, even after speaking it into existence. God said, let the waters beneath the sky flow together into one place so dry ground may appear. And that is what happened. God called the dry ground land and the water seas. And verse 11 says, then God said, let the land sprout with vegetation, every sort of seed-bearing plants and trees that grow seed-bearing fruit. These seeds will then produce the kinds of plants and trees which they came. And that is what happened. The land produced vegetation, all sorts of seed-bearing plants and trees and seed-bearing fruit. Their seeds produce plants and the trees of the same kind, and God saw that it was good. So there is power in what we speak. There's work behind what we speak. We're going to speak it out, and then we're going to work to perform what it takes for it to become a reality. Let's go down to Genesis 1 and 14. Then God said, let lights appear in the sky to separate the day from the night. Let them mark off the seasons, days, and years. Let these lights be in the sky, shine down on the earth. And that is what happened. God made, there it is again, God made two great lights, the larger one to govern the day and the smaller one to govern the night. He also made the stars. God set these lights in the sky to light the earth, to govern the day, and to separate the light from darkness. The key word here is God is saying it, And not only is he saying it, he's creating it, and he made it right there in Genesis. And that should encourage us. One more time here in verse 20, and you can read it for yourself when you have time. Then God said, let the water swarm with fish and other life. Let the skies be filled with birds of every kind. So God created great sea creatures and every living thing that scurries and swarms in the water, and every sort of bird, each producing offspring of the same kind. And God saw that it was good. So I just want to encourage you to speak what you want to see, but also remember, when you are speaking what you want to see, you're going to have to create. And you're going to have to make some things happen. It's not just going to come to you. You can't just say it and then not work. You have to be proactive. Faith without work is dead. Faith without work is dead. And there's an example of Elijah, the prophet. Now Elijah, who was from Tishbe in Gilead, told King Ahab, as surely as the Lord, the God of Israel lives, the God I serve, there will be no dew or rain during the next few years until I give the word. Elijah spoke it. He said, there will be no dew or rain during the next few years until I give the word. Then the Lord said to Elijah, go to the east and hide by Cherith brook, near where it enters the Jordan River. Drink from the brook and eat what the ravens bring for you, for I have commanded them to bring you food. So Elijah did as the Lord told him and camped inside Cherith brook, east of the Jordan. The ravens brought him bread and meat each morning and evening, and he drank from the brook. But after a while, the brook dried up. Why? Because Elijah said there would be no dew or rain during the next few years until I give the word. It says in verse 7, but after a while, the brook dried up, for there was no rainfall anywhere in the land. Our words have power. Speak what you want to see and speak it in Jesus' name. Print pictures out of what you want to see. Go buy the property of the house or the business that you want to see. Begin to speak it. Begin to create and begin to make it, and give God the glory, because it's him that gives us the ideas, the visions, the goals, and the dreams. Speak what you want to see in Jesus' name.